Hi, my name is Elizabeth Henson Hasty, and I'm professor of theology and religious studies at Bellarmine University in Louisville, Kentucky. I'm also a minister of Word and Sacrament in Mid-Kentucky Presbytery and have been director of Bellarmine's Peace Studies program for the last 15 years, working with students in the local area on peace and justice issues and really trying to engage them on the ground, particularly in response to the needs of refugees in our local community, as well as in response to issues of poverty and related to economic justice in the local area. The second aspect of making peace that I want to emphasize is the importance of overcoming fear. Overcoming fear of difference and of distance. Overcoming fear is really about asking good questions that will bring to light new ways of living in the midst of conflict situations, and that also emphasize the importance of your own kind of character, as it's enlivened by an understanding of carrying out Jesus' own acts of healing. One of the stories that I told in my essay is about Andre and Magda Truckman. They lived in a small town in France during the Nazi occupation in World War II. The Truckmans had to overcome the fear of welcoming people who were being persecuted by the Nazis, welcoming Jewish people into their homes and encouraging their whole community to live in peace and to resist the Nazi impulse toward violence and toward the othering of Jewish people. Their witness led the community and enabled more than 5,000 Jewish people to be saved from Nazi persecution and from that violent conflict. One of the stories that inspired the Truckmans and other people living in Le Chambon was the story of the Good Samaritan. And I wanted to just read a brief excerpt from that story from the Gospel of Luke, chapter 10, verses 25 through 29, because it introduces to us a disruptive question that can help us overcome our fear of difference and overcome our fear of distance. Just then, a lawyer stood up to test Jesus. "Teacher," he said, "what must I do to inherit eternal life?" He said to him, "What is written in the law? What do you read there?" He answered, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your strength and with all your mind, and your neighbor as yourself." And he said to him, "You have given the right answer. Do this and you will live." But wanting to justify himself, he asked Jesus, "And who is my neighbor?" Who is my neighbor? That's really the toughest question for us to ask of ourselves in the midst of conflict. Who is my neighbor? We can so easily classify ourselves in our society according to artificially defined differences, the way we look, perhaps how much money we have, the kind of role that we play in our society. Asking that essential question, who is my neighbor, is one of the most disruptive questions that can lead us to overcome our fear of others and to lead us to make peace. When Jesus answers that question, he answers it with the story of the Good Samaritan, a story that breaks down social boundaries